Paul has been writing about the link between what is buried and what is raised, but he's also been underlining the tremendous difference between the body that is sown into death and the body that is raised from the dead. There is one word that underlines this difference, and it is the word glory. Paul mentions that word glory 6 or 7 times in today's reading from 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verses 41 to 44. There is one glory of the sun, and another glory of the moon, and another glory of the stars. For one star differeth from another star in glory. So also is the resurrection of the dead. It is sown in corruption, it is raised in incorruption. It is sown in dishonour, it is raised in glory. It is sown in weakness, it is raised in power. It is sown a natural body, it is raised a spiritual body. There is a natural body, and there is a spiritual body. Paul is answering the second question posed in verse 35. With what body do they come? From these words that we have read, we could say it is a body of glory. Indeed, writing on this subject in Philippians chapter 3 verse 21, Paul writes about the time when the Lord Jesus shall change our vile body, that is our body of humiliation, that it may be fashioned like unto his glorious body. Paul pointed out that the celestial, that is the heavenly, has a different glory to the terrestrial, that is the earthly, and that was in verse 40 of our reading. And he continued on that subject of glory here. There is one glory of the sun, and another glory of the moon, and another glory of the stars in verse 41. There are glorious bodies, and there are millions of them out there. Now, Paul applies the principles that he's drawn out of nature to show how they are indicative or illustrative of the resurrected body. So also is the resurrection of the dead, verse 42. Just as there are more glorious bodies in the celestial sphere, so also there are glorious resurrected bodies. The body with which they come, verse 35, in the resurrection is altogether more wonderful than the body in which they died, just as was the case with the Lord Jesus when he was raised from the dead. So how different is that resurrected body? Paul sets out 4 ways in which it is different. 4 ways in which the body was sown into death, contrasted with 4 ways in which it is raised again to life. The first of these is that it is sown in corruption, it is raised in incorruption, verse 42. The body that dies is perishable and will decay because of Adam's sin. When humanity fell, Adam was told, dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return, in Genesis 3 verse 19. But in contrast, the resurrection body will not perish, it will not decay. The body that dies is mortal, the body that is raised is immortal. Second, it is sown in dishonour, it is raised in glory, verse 43. There is a lack of dignity associated with the decaying body, the body of humiliation, as we already mentioned in Philippians 3 verse 21. But the resurrected body is much more glorious. He is indeed bringing many sons unto glory, Hebrews 2 verse 10. Third, it is sown in weakness, it is raised in power, again verse 43. That mortal body, that decaying body, that aging body gets weaker and weaker, while the resurrected body never diminishes in strength or vigour. It will always be strong. Now, how can this be? Paul explains in the 4th contrast. It is sown a natural body, it is raised a spiritual body, verse 44. It is a different type of body, a kind of body that we have really no experience of, except for those who saw the Lord Jesus during the 40 days between his resurrection and his ascension. The resurrected body is empowered by the Spirit, and just what Paul means by that, we're going to discover next week in the will of the Lord.